Honorable Vice President, Government of Nepal, Honorable Ministers of SAARC countries, dignitaries, friends, and colleagues. Namaste, Assalamu alaikum, and good morning to all of you. It's indeed a privilege to be here at the 5th SACOSAN and to speak on behalf of the international NGOs. This also marks 1 decade of the SACOSAN movement. I'm delighted to be in this beautiful country, Nepal, in this lovely month of October, right between Dashain and Tihar festivals. And elsewhere in the subcontinent too, it's a spirit of festivities with Eid, Dashera, and Durga Puja having been celebrated in many parts of the subcontinent. SACOSAN, this government-led conference, has indeed become a movement, having delivered 4 successful conferences. And the SAARC countries have rightly attracted global recognition and have been applauded for the leadership and political will that's been demonstrated by the countries in the region. The challenges, though, are still immense, as the region carries a disproportionate burden of people without improved sanitation. Since SACOSAN 3, 750,000 children have died from diarrhea, most of which is due to poor sanitation and hygiene. In that context, what Gandhiji said almost a century ago is still very relevant, that sanitation is more important than independence. But there is hope. Bangladesh reduced its rates of open defecation from 40% a decade ago when the first SACOSAN was held in that country to just under 4%. And the declaration yesterday of Bhaktapur as an open defecation-free district brings in the right level of optimism just as we start deliberating on the solutions in SACOSAN 5. I'm reminded today of an experience that I had in a village near Pokhara, which I visited a few years ago. Visiting one of those villages, I saw a middle-aged couple lugging a sand plat between them, sharing the burden of carrying the sand plat up the hill slopes, and it was meant to be a few hours of journey to the village. And when I asked them why they're taking the trouble, the woman said, "Our eyes have been opened. We now have realized the value of having a good toilet. We want our children to lead healthy lives, and especially for our women to lead a life of dignity." And that's the resolve that is going to help us address the challenges in the subcontinent. This SACOSAN is a key opportunity to review some of the key commitments made in the past to establish one national body for coordinating sanitation and hygiene, develop harmonized monitoring mechanisms using agreed common indicators with disaggregated reporting of outcomes for marginalized and vulnerable, and influence SAARC to include sanitation and hygiene in its activities. There are 2 critical global opportunities in front of us. The high-level meeting of finance ministers and sector ministers as part of the Sanitation and Water for All in April 2014 to review how governments have progressed against the commitments to allocate significant resources for sanitation, and discussions at the national level and global levels facilitated by the United Nations on the post-2015 development goals. For the wash sector, these are critical in achieving the vision of everyone, everywhere having access to water, sanitation, and hygiene by 2030, a vision that is increasingly being acknowledged and accepted and aligned to the UN Secretary General's own vision to eradicate extreme poverty by 2030. As we approach the MDG timeframe of 2015, we are acutely conscious of the challenge that the region is seriously off track in meeting its target. Nearly 2 out of 3 people practicing open defecation in the world live in South Asia. There were 111 million more people without access to sanitation in the region than in 1990, a couple of years ago. Some of the key challenges that I request our delegates to consider in this SACOSAN is, how do we reach the unreached, the poorest, the most marginalized, the people living in hardest to reach areas, people who are chronically ill, disabled people, women and girl children? How do we bring about more domestic resources for sanitation financing so that we are not entirely dependent on external funding? How do we achieve sustainability of services, sustainability of behavior change? How do we look at sanitation as a package of services? It's not just about construction of latrines or ending open defecation. And this is a big challenge in rapidly urbanizing countries. How do we bring about the link between sanitation and health, given the evidence that we have of the immense amount of child deaths and stunting as a result of poor sanitation and hygiene? How do we address sanitation and hygiene challenges at times of disasters and climate change, which we are increasingly seeing in many of our countries? And finally, it's about how do we invest in our children. Investing in our children is one of the most effective investments in national economies. Precious lives are lost due to poor sanitation and hygiene. Girl children in particular are extremely disadvantaged due to poor recognition of their menstrual hygiene needs and lack of facilities in school. This is integral to the rights of a child to enable them lead a life of dignity and health so that they can fully participate and realize their potential. I'm often reminded of the story of Dolly, a very lively teenager living in the slums of Korail in the heart of Dhaka, who decided to convert an adversity into an opportunity by effectively organizing adolescent girls like herself to be agents of change and demand that their voices are heard. Sacrosanct 5 offers a huge opportunity to accelerate progress and realize a vision of universal access to water, sanitation, and hygiene by 2030. As international NGOs, we call upon South Asian governments to commit to the following. Take urgent action to get sanitation MDG target on track by strengthening the sector and provide adequate domestic resources. Achieve equity through providing sustainable sanitation and hygiene to the poor, disadvantaged, and marginalized people as a priority. And commit to a global goal on universal access to basic water and sanitation services as a fundamental human right, and set a target date of 2030 to achieve this universal access. And we, as international NGOs, are totally committed to support governments and civil society in their efforts to achieve this. Let me end with a quote from a book called Following Vispa, Walking on the Rooftop of the World in Nepal's Himalayas, a book by Dan Thompson. He says, and I quote, "Travel is the discovery of truth, an affirmation of the promise that humankind is far more beautiful than it is flawed. With each trip comes a new optimism that where there is despair and hardship, there are ideas and people just waiting to be energized, to be empowered, to make a difference for good," unquote, just like the people of Bhaktapur. I wish the conference all success in realizing the aim of sanitation for all for sanitation. Sabaiko lagi sarsafai, sarsafai sabaiko lagi. May I end with wishing all our very warm Nepali hosts Tihar ko shubhkamna, dhere dhere dhanyawad.